And so now over to day one and our second keynote speaker here at the Prime Global Forum 2021. It is my true pleasure to welcome to you Tania Rosas. And Tania is a 20-year-old woman from La Guajira in Colombia, Latin America. And I was fascinated to read about you founding El Origen Foundation, which is an indigenous first model that provides at-risk youth with a second chance at education and works to close the illiteracy gap for indigenous youth. And you also launched OLAP, which is the learning app adapted for indigenous students who have the lowest education levels worldwide. And we have invited you here today to the Prime Global Forum, where we give a special attention to the voice of students and to youth and to inspire student agency around the world. Meaning that as a student, you don't have to wait to do something until you've graduated. You can actually also act, engage right now as a student. And I was also very inspired, Tania Rosas, from your statement about we aim to democratize education. And as a political scientist and educational researcher, you are committed to make education much more inclusive for communities. You're working with NGOs, community leaders, and rural schools across the Global South. And also yourself growing up in the region with the highest school dropout rate in Colombia, which is also the region with the largest population of indigenous people, you recognize education is the best weapon to fight against poverty and uphold sustainable development for at-risk communities. So this is a very warm welcome I give to you here today, and I'm looking very much forward to your keynote speak here. I think what you are doing is admirable. It is fantastic. And it serves as a true inspiration for many other students and many other of us. So a warm welcome to you, Tania. Please, over to you.
Hello? Oh, hello, can you hear me? Oh, okay, perfect, thank you. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here. I am Tania Rosas, a young activist and social entrepreneur from Colombia, co-founder of Origin Learning Fund in the US, and recently selected as young leader for the SDGs by the United Nations. I'm grateful for being invited to talk about the challenges that are facing at-risk students worldwide and leadership on education. Growing up in the indigenous capital of Colombia, which is called La Guajira, I recognize that access to learning opportunities had been my best ally, and that it is the best weapon to fight against poverty and uphold sustainable development for our community. In Colombia alone, there are more than 380,000 registered indigenous students, yet only 29% will finish high school, and only 5% access higher education. 70% of those left behind are women. This is an issue mainly caused by language barriers, as well as the lack of connectivity, inclusive and accessible education. Last year, more than 11 million girls around the world could not return to school after the COVID-19 crisis. And in my region, when a girl is out of school, it affects whole communities. It looks like gender violence, forced marriages, and teenage pregnancies. Access to technology is undoubtedly one of the most powerful strategies to democratize education and bring back all the at-risk students. But technology is in many cases excluding. That is why I founded Origin Learning Fund. And last year, we launched our personalized offline learning application and learning management system developed by at-risk youth for at-risk students worldwide, called OLAP. OLAP works with or without the internet, adapts to any language and even indigenous tongues, and allow access to courses and educational programs created by partner institutions and NGOs worldwide, so that at-risk students can continue to develop their potential, stimulating their interest in continuing in education, defining a career or vocation, and access higher education opportunities. We have created a safe and personalized platform for all youths, and we are creating alliances with international organizations, schools, universities, foundations, and other alliances to empower local teachers and bring quality offline educational programs to every at-risk student in every corner without barriers. Our technology has been designed to support NGOs and empower future leaders to uphold sustainable development for their communities. We expect our lab to be a global solution to inequality, laying the ground for oppressive groups to fashion stronger voices and uphold racial equity. I believe that gender and heritage should never be a barrier to development, and I know that working together we can bring inclusive and empowering digital education for all, which creates new paths to achieve gender equality and leave no one behind. We must listen to at-risk youth and let them lead. They are right holders and must be central to all laws of all conversations. Young people should never be a special guest anymore. We must be at the decision-making table. And those spaces like this one help us to raise our voices. Thank you so much.